Back to Let Us Seek the Lord as we trek through the scriptures in 3.5 years. Today is March the 28th, and we will be reading from Exodus 39. Don't forget that if you like this, to hit the like and share it with somebody else. Pass it on. Exodus 39. Of the blue, purple, and scarlet thread, they made garments for ministering in the holy place, and they made holy garments for Aaron, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He made the ephod of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, of fine woven linen, and they beat the gold into thin sheets and cut it into threads to work it in with the blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and the fine linen into artistic designs. They made the shoulder straps for it to couple it together. It was coupled together at its two edges. And the intricately woven band of the ephod was on it was the same workmanship, woven of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and of fine woven linen, as the Lord had commanded Moses. They set onyx stones, enclosed it in settings of gold. They were engraved as signets are engraved, with the names of the sons of Israel on it. He put them on the shoulders of the ephod as the memorial stones for the sons of Israel, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He made the breastplate, artistically woven like the workmanship of the ephod, of gold and blue and purple and scarlet thread and of fine woven linen. They made the breastplate square by doubling it, and its span. A span was its length, and a span its width when doubled. And they set it in 4 rows of stones. A row with a sardius, topaz, and an emerald was the first row. The second row, a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row, a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. The fourth row, a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in settings of gold in their mountings. There were 12 stones according to the names of the sons of Israel, according to their names engraved like a signet, each one with its own name according to the 12 tribes. And they made the chains for the breastplate at the ends like braided cords of pure gold. And they made 2 settings of gold and 2 gold rings. Put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 braided chains of gold in the 2 rings of the ends of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 braided chains they fastened with 2 settings and put them on the shoulder straps of the ephod in the front. And they made 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate and on the edge of it, which was on the inward side of the ephod. They made 2 other gold rings and put them on the 2 shoulder straps underneath the ephod toward its front and right at the seam above the intricately woven band of the ephod. And they bound the breastplate by means of its rings to the rings of the ephod with a blue cord, so that it would be above the intricately woven band of the ephod, and that the breastplate would not come loose from the ephod, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He made the robe of the ephod of woven work, all of blue. There was an opening in the middle of the robe, like the opening of a coat of mail, with a woven binding all around the opening so that it would not tear. They made on the hem of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and a fine woven linen. And they made bells of pure gold and put the bells between the pomegranates and on the hem of the robe all around between the pomegranates. A bell, a pomegranate, a bell, a pomegranate, all around the hem of the robe to minister in, as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made tunics artistically woven of fine linen for Aaron and his son, a turban, fine linen, exquisite hats of fine linen, short trousers of fine woven linen, and a sash of fine woven linen with purple, blue, and scarlet thread, made by a weaver as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold and wrote on it an inscription like the engraving of a signet, "Holiness to the Lord." And they tied a blue cord to fasten it above the turban as the Lord had commanded Moses. Thus all the work of the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, was finished, and the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So they did. And they brought the tabernacle to Moses, the tent, and all its furnishings, its clasps, its boards, its bars, its pillars, and its sockets, the covering of the ram skins and the dyed red, and the covering of the badger skins, and the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony with its poles and with the mercy seat, the table and all its utensils, and the showbread, and the pure gold lampstand with the lamps, and the lamps set in order, and all its utensils, and the oil for the light, and the gold altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the screen for the tabernacle door, and the bronze altar and its gate of bronze, its poles and all its utensils, the laver with its base, the hangings of the court, its pillars, and its sockets, the screen for the court gate, its cords and its pegs, and all the utensils for the service of the tabernacle for the tent of meeting, and the garments of ministry to minister to the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the priest and his sons, garments to minister as priests. According to all that the Lord had commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did all the work. And Moses looked over all the work, and indeed they'd done it. As the Lord had commanded, just so they had done it. And Moses blessed them. Occasionally I come across people who name the name of Christ and who have little regard for the arts when expressed in the church. More frequently, I meet people who name the name of Christ who heavily criticize churches for heavy spending on beautiful buildings. Sometimes even I have been critical and I thought such spending was excessive. Yet this chapter and the previous chapter seem to indicate that the Lord really appreciates artistic work. It is part of his glory to create beautiful things. But when is it too much? Too much? Well, here's some thoughts. The Israelites numbered perhaps 2.5 million people. The tabernacle and its priests were about the only corporate thing of material essence that they had. People do need corporate beauty. It's kind of what binds us together at times. The instruction for the making of these things came from the Lord, and they were to reflect what he is like. He's beautiful. He's also holy. Holiness to the Lord was to be written on the crown of the high priest. The beauty was to reflect the holiness of God. Now, other laws were given to the Israelites that were to indicate that the people should take care of the poor and the needy, the widows and the orphans. It seems to me that it's part of God's glory for us to create works of beauty in arts, crafts, and buildings, as long as it does not deter us from reflecting the holiness of God or from meeting the needs of people. After all, he is an artistic God. It seems to me that there's a strong correlation here with the New Testament concept that we're all priests to God, the priesthood of the believer, 1 Peter 2, 4 through 12. As priests unto our God, we're to reflect his beauty and his holiness. What do priests do? Well, they pray and they offer up sacrifices of praise to God that are beautiful. They do it in robes of righteousness that are beautiful. I once had a leader in my first pastorate who referred to everything done in a worship service prior to the preaching of the word as preliminaries. Now, I appreciate his honoring me as the one who brought the spoken word that day. However, the term preliminary seems to imply that what happens before the spoken word was unimportant. That is so far from the truth. When the details of the making of the furniture, priestly garments, etc., were they just preliminaries? If so, why did God give such attention to detail? I believe that whenever we come together for worship, there's no such thing as preliminaries. We're to worship him in the beauty of holiness. Our speaking to one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs are to be beautiful, the best that we can offer to God. Since all of us are priests unto our God, we offer up beautiful sacrifices of praise in music and arts and lifestyle, etc. These are not preliminaries. They are what he has created us to be and to do because we serve a glorious King. So, speak his glory in a beautiful way to someone today.